Welcome guys, welcome back to the daily vlog. It is Thursday the 4th of July 2025 and I'm driving to work as per usual. Thursdays are a bit of a hard one because you're so close to Friday but you're just not there yet, and today's raining. It's miserable outside. It is grey, it is unbecoming, and all I want to do is just stay home, snuggle up, but I've got work to do. So yesterday I went perusing around Crawley, had a couple of looks around there, and what a lovely spot, right near the water, right on the river's edge. Building a couple of apartments around that area, which is pretty exciting, and it's pretty central. It's pretty central to the city. It's pretty central to UWA, the university, and all that sort of stuff. And you know, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I don't mind it. I never really knew of or thought of much Crawley. Like, it wasn't really on my radar, so to speak. But yeah, I don't mind it. Not everyone's a river person. Some people are a beach person, but I'm a mixture. I like to be near water. I don't really like to be inland too much, if I can help it. But that's just me. Everyone's different. But yeah, as I said, today's Thursday. I have nothing really important planned today. Maybe just make some phone calls or some emails, you know, the general gist, and then sort of just roll into the day as I normally do. But yeah, it would be good if I can get some appointments, because I definitely need that to sell. And yeah, there's nothing really else that's sort of on my mind per se. However, I've sort of, you know, been thinking about things that could potentially occur coming into winter, and a lot of that is just rain and wet weather and dark mornings, and the struggle of getting up is getting harder and harder, to be honest. Not in a depressing way, just in a, you know, it's a deceiving sort of period, winter, because you wake up, you think it's maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, but it ends up being 6:30, and you're like, oh gee, I better get up now, sort of thing. But above all, it's yeah, not looking great for my gym schedule. You know, I've been slacking on that a fair bit, to be honest. I don't know. I've just been really like enjoying the warmth of bed, and yeah, it's addictive. It's addictive. I'll give it that. But yeah, I just did some calculations last night, just before I went to bed. Weirdly enough, I don't know why, I just did, but I spend about $780 on fuel well, on average every month. $780 on average, and so, you know, I don't know, is that average? What are you guys spending like on fuel a month? Like, I don't know if that's even good or bad, or just average potentially. I mean, I don't drive a massive full drive. I just drive a sedan and 2 liter turbo sedan. But yeah, it's not like a V8 or V6 or anything like that. But yeah, what do you guys reckon? Comment down below. Is my car, am I spending too much on fuel? I know fuel's crazy expensive at the moment. That's a given, but just some general feedback from you guys would be much appreciated in the comment section below. But yeah, last night I was, funnily enough, after I did my calculations, I was watching this show called Ghost Whisperer, and it's the main star attraction is Jennifer Love Hewitt. She's an absolute babe. And yeah, I think it was well, I don't know when it was made. It could have been in the 2008, 2009 sort of period. But I watched the pilot, and the pilot featured Wentworth Miller, the guy or the main character off Prison Break. And I didn't realise that at the time, because obviously I was, probably wasn't paying much attention. I'd never watched the pilot before, so that was my first time. However, it was interesting to see that he was actually in the show, or the pilot, I guess. And yeah, that was pretty cool. But yeah, there's some scary moments in it which I probably didn't appreciate just before bed, but yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, if I do end up moving, I'm living east of Perth at the moment. So if I do end up moving to, say, I don't know, the western suburbs, or however you want to rephrase it or call it, it's going to be a welcome change. It's going to be a welcome, yeah, it's going to be a lot better. It's going to be so much closer to everything, and not having to drive on Royal Highway and then the Tonkin, and then the Orong Road, and then through the tunnel. It's just going to be a lot easier, for me anyway. Everyone's different. Everyone has a different commute. Some people commute further than me. They don't complain. I'm complaining. I mean, in my previous videos, I did mention that I've sort of been at this place, what is it now, 5 months? So I'm coming up to my 6-month probation. I'm excited, I'm optimistic, I'm proud of myself. I'm just got to keep going. 16th of August is the day that I will be very happy to see the day off, to be honest. To cross that milestone would be, yeah, fantastic. And yeah, no, I'm not crossing down the days, but I'm well aware that that is the day that I pass my probation. Yeah, anyway. But yesterday, before I went to Crawley, I went to a place in Claremont to have a little look-see. And this was around maybe, I don't know, probably 4:30, around that time, around that, give or take. Probably 4:15 in the middle. Anyway, I'm sitting in the car, as I am now, and I parked up just in the sort of car park area, and this guy adjacent from me, from the car, had a little apartment, and he poked his head out of the door frame or whatever, came out with his basket of laundry, puts it on the railing, and just like eyeballs me. And he's probably 1 floor up, so he had a bit of height, obviously, and just looks down at me. And I'm just looking up. I got my sunnies on, as I do now, and I just sort of looked up just briefly, and I was like, this guy's looking at me 100%. It's not my imagination, this is legit. And I didn't eyeball him back. I didn't want to create any sort of unnecessary confrontation. However, I was well aware that he was in fact eyeballing me, to say, as if to say, what the hell are you doing here? Are you looking at me? Are you stalking me? It's like, well, no, I'm not. I'm just parking. Anyway, he comes down from the balcony. It's a long walk. It's probably, I don't know, 100, maybe not 100 meters, 75 meters, okay? 75 meters. Comes down, and he stands right beside my window here, and he just knocks on the door. And this guy, he looks like he looked disheveled. He looked possibly mentally deranged. I'm not quite sure the severity. He might have something, but I don't know. I can't comment. I don't know what you mean, but I was a bit on guard. Let's just put it that way. Wound down my window about a sort of an inch and a half, and he proceeds to tell me, "Are you here to see me?" And I said, "No, I'm not. No, I'm not, sir. I'm not here to see you." And then he proceeds to tell me that he's waiting for his car to come back, He didn't say who potentially would be driving it or why it isn't there, and he's there but the car's not there. And he said, yes, please move because I'm waiting for my car to come back. And I said, no problem, I'm happy to move, not a problem. I was actually waiting for my parents to arrive on the train so I could go and pick them up from the station. And it was about that time anyway that I probably should have left and sort of waited at the train station. So I was happy to oblige. I said, not a problem, mate, not a problem. And I left it at that. But it definitely made me go, yeah, probably not the right one to look at, and put me off a little bit of that sort of area. Look, albeit I was, perhaps I was in fact in his parking bay, his assigned parking bay. But yeah, it is what it is. I can't go back in time, but it definitely just made me go a little bit like, ooh, okay, yeah. Interesting characters in the building, that's for sure. This was just like a block of how do I articulate this? A block of flats, essentially. It was nothing special. It wasn't sort of, yeah. Anyway, it's crazy what house prices are here in Perth. I mean, it's. I'm not saying it's getting beyond a joke. I mean, it is a little bit. We'd always love to go back in time and do a lot of things differently. But when sort of the average price of a unit's 300, 350, now it's 100 grand more on average for let's say a 1 bedroom. Maybe you might get a 2, but it's not a very big 2-bedroom apartment. You sort of feel them a bit ripped off. But the housing market, the increase in property prices isn't an actual reflection of the property market. It's more the reflection of the decrease of the Aussie dollar. And what I mean by that is the Aussie dollar is backed by the fiat-based currency, which is the US dollar. And as we all know, the US dollar, or the US government for that matter, has 33 trillion or even more now probably in debt. And Australia isn't too far behind. I mean, it doesn't have 33 trillion, but it's in the billions of dollars of debt. And, when that happens, the more they print money, the more your money depreciates. It's a simple sort of concept, I suppose, but that's the reality of it. So, you might have 50 grand in the bank today, but that 50 grand in the bank today would probably be worth 20 grand. Because you got to adjust for the rate of inflation, all that sort of stuff, and cost of living, and filling up fuel of your car and all that sort of jazz. It's just crazy. Oh geez, dickhead drivers. But yeah, it is what it is. It's infuriating. It's frustrating as a person that wants to get ahead in life, for sure. Like, that's why everyone's up in arms, and that's why people are worried about their kids, or people that are worried about having their own kids and bringing a kid into this world and going, oh gee, well, the odds are sort of stacked against you, son or daughter or whatever. It's just like, yeah, it's like a game that you sort of, it's like playing a game, but it's rigged, but you play it anyway, and you go, oh well, I lost, but I know it was rigged. But sometimes you can't think like that. You just got to just do it. And oh my goodness, there's some stuff on the road here. All good. Holy cow! Some straps had fallen off the back of a truck. Looked like, anyway. But yeah, you know what I'm sort of saying. It's, as a young person, like if I was 18 today or whatever, and sort of left school and sort of somewhat optimistic about the future, I probably wouldn't be as optimistic, because I'd be like, well, what the fuck is this meant to be? Like, what is life? Why is it the way it is, And yeah, unfortunately, yeah, it is the way it is. It's just yeah, it sucks sometimes. Not all the time. I'm grateful for my life, but there are certain aspects you just go, oh, well, it's the game that you want to play. Well, welcome to the world, and this is how it is, and blah, 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 blah. But yeah, no, you can definitely shape your mindset to rise above it all. And sometimes I'm a little bit too aware of things around, and it's not good to be like that. Sometimes it's better just to live in ignorance and just sort of pretend it's not happening, because it sometimes will make it a bit easier. But yeah, the main thing is the reason we're in this position is because our government essentially stuck their head in the sand and sold us out, and that's the reality of it. Even if you're not even into politics, you'd have to agree that politicians, they are like, I don't even know what the fuck they do, pardon me, but I don't know what they do. They get paid a shit ton of money. They're supposed to work for us, but really they work for themselves to better their own pockets. And they have a severance package, so once they actually step out of parliament or government, whatever, they get well looked after. They don't ever have to work again. Whereas if say your old man or your mum stopped working, yes, there's something called super, but the government doesn't pay you. You know, like, yes, you might get a pension and stuff, but these politicians, they are laughing to the bank. I mean, Albanese, if he lost the election or whatever, he would have got paid out $450 every year as a severance package. You know, that's just reality of it. And the numbers recently said that he's the highest paying PM that we've ever had. So he's like getting paid $624,000 a year. So, he's just, you know, it is what it is, but love him or hate him, but yeah, the brainwashing is next level in this country, and the shame, the white privilege shame as well is rampant. And yeah, the welcome to country. I mean, do I need to say any more? I mean, it's just shoved down your throats. And even on Qantas flights, not that I've been on a Qantas flight in ages for obvious reasons, but you know, every time you land, they just welcome you to country. It's like, well, don't really need to be welcome to my own country, but thanks anyway. So yeah, it's unbelievable. I don't know what will be next. All I know is that, yeah, a lot of people retired or thinking of retiring, or entrepreneurs, like true entrepreneurs, are leaving Australia. To even start a business in Australia, you're paying like high tax anyway. Like, you're paying the tax man a shit ton of money. You get people that work for you that you don't really want to have work for you anyway, because they're just not professional, not on a timely manner. They will never work as hard as the owner. Like, but that's just a given. The owner can't expect them to work as hard as them. That's just unrealistic expectations from them. And so that's the reason why entrepreneurship is sort of dying in Australia a little bit, for those reasons mentioned. And you know, a lot of people, if they have made it, or even if they've just worked a normal job, like nothing crazy, maybe $80,000 a year, but they've done okay, they've saved up, they've lived modestly, and maybe they want to retire a little bit earlier, or they just can't be, you know, buggered getting up every morning and working, which is fair enough to them. They might be in their early 50s or whatever. They just go into Southeast Asia, they go into Philippines, they go into Thailand, they go into Vietnam. They're getting out, like they're checked out. And look, if you're asking me personally, it's all different preferences that leads a person to go to a certain country. And as I mentioned yesterday, just because just because you're having problems here doesn't mean when you go to another country they won't follow you. Of course they will follow you. You've got to deal with them. And at the end of the day, it's only you, yourself, and I. Like, it is really up to you. And that's just reality of it. No other place is going to make you feel better about yourself or do better about yourself. You could live in the wealthiest suburb and come from the poorest of poor. Yes, it might make you feel a bit better because you're living in a more affluent suburb, less crime, better access to food, better food in general, more health conscious people living in that area, so you'll probably do more outdoor activities. But your mind is going to be still yours. So realistically, whatever sort of mindset you have is going to dictate your perception of the surroundings you're in. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, with these people that tell you, oh, just move to Thailand, just move to Vietnam, just move to Philippines. I'm not against that. I think that's a freaking awesome idea, and I think if I had enough money in my bank account, or even if you don't even need that much money in your bank account, you just need to execute. You just need to execute and do it, and then just roll with it. And it's a risk, but hey, sometimes the biggest risks have the biggest payoffs, and you know, that's just reality of it. I think you know, as I said to you guys the other day, I don't want to retire in Australia. I couldn't think of anything worse, seriously. And look, a lot of people go, oh, what about your family and all that stuff? I can still come back for Christmas and Easter and all that. It really doesn't dictate much. Like, it doesn't really affect that many people too much, you know. And ever since COVID, I've just found, like, a lot of people, they just sort of do their own thing, you know. It's really changed people's social habits to a degree. Like, you go out now and it's really dead. Like, back in my day, there was just a lot more going on in terms of people going out. But yeah, now it's pretty normal just to have a sort of a more sedentary homebody sort of evening, you know. Well, not to mention the fact that everything's so expensive, so to even go out to have a drink is just, in this country anyway, unbelievable. Go to Thailand, go to a 7-Eleven, you can have a 10 baht, which is sort of, what is that, $3 Australian, or $3.50 Australian, beer. You know, you just grab one out of the cold fridge. It's no big deal. Yeah. So, but yeah, what do you guys reckon? Comment below, like, subscribe. Thanks for coming with me on this journey. I'm not even at work yet. It's 8:04, 4th of July, 2025. Probably another, I'd say, 15 minutes, 20 minutes to get to work. It's a journey. It's a journey. But I will see you guys tomorrow on Friday, and we'll continue car chat. Until next time, signing off, Bailey.